G'day everybody and welcome to the second race of the 2023 Samsung Offline Racing League. We are here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 2014 edition. We're here for the second race of the new season and fresh off the, very chaotic race at Daytona, I think it's fair to say. It should be backed up with another chaotic one. Atlanta usually always has a lot of passing, a lot of racing, up and down the order, side-by-side battling. It is going to be a highly entertaining one tonight. Really looking forward to this one. 42 drivers, the same 42, of course, who competed in the Daytona 500 last week. And it'll be interesting to see what shakes, how the points get shaken up, of course. James Stack, the winner of the Daytona 500 last week. He is the points leader, of course, goes without saying, first race of the year. So he leads the points, 9 points over Thomas Truxell in the 27 for Team Velocista. Joseph Wright finished third, Fisher G finished fourth, Garrett Lamar finished fifth. That's the top 5 in points. Those guys separated by 25 points. It's the way the point system works. It emphasises the better finish higher up as you possibly can, particularly winning, puts you in a very good spot this year. There's still a very long way to go. 19 races, including this one tonight, that will help determine the series champion in 2023. We'll see the starting lineup on the left side of your screen. We'll go through the top 10. It's an all Collins Racing front row. Eli Bryant in the number 12 finished in the top 10 at Daytona. And the number 02 of Will Parrish, not quite able to get the pole, but was very fast as well. Row 2, Logan Thomas in the number 45 for Seminole Motors, and the number 2 of Owen Miles for Buck Racing. The third Collins Ford is also starting in the top 5, so great effort in qualifying by them. John Stewart in the 22, who looked fast at Daytona before being involved in an accident. Kyle McLeese in the 56 will start alongside him. Noon Akbar, the pole sitter for Daytona, will start from 7th, so continuing his good qualifying form. Henry Gore in the Gifford number 71. And then rounding out the top 10, Noah Clifton and Nicolaus Schlaughter for the second straight week. Starts from 10th. And we'll get the cars rolling here at Atlanta. Going to be an interesting race tonight. 67 laps. See the cars are rolling off. 67 laps. There'll be pit stops in this one, of course, just like last week at Daytona. We didn't really see them really play out at Daytona because they were under caution, which was a shame, I suppose, but also maybe a blessing. It might be the case again tonight. If we have an early caution, we might see 2 pit stops in this race. But we'll have to see when that happens. It's an interesting one to play out. In terms of the guys that you're going to keep an eye on, I talked about some of the guys in the point standings that are up there. Joseph Wright starts 11th in the 99. Thomas Truxell starts back here in 15th. He's got Garrett Lamar alongside of him. Fisher G starts way down the order, and so does James Stack. There he is in the 23. He starts from 34th, and Fisher G will start from 40th. So a lot of work for those guys to do tonight. They want to continue their good run of form. Back it up after Daytona. Got a lot of work to do. Pace cars on pit road. And it's Collins Racing 1-2 who will lead the field of green. Eli Bryant, Will Parrish. We are Green Flag Racing at Atlanta. Logan Thomas in the number 45, already to the inside of Eli Bryant here for the race lead. It's a track that we can see a lot of lead changes, a lot of leaders, lots of different leaders throughout. There's a lot of rotating up and down the order, but Eli Bryant led the first lap. Thomas is on the inside trying to get past that 12, but the 12 gets the outside lane working. So good start for Bright. See, there's John Stewart in the 22. He got 3 of the Collins Racing cars in the top 4. Of course, we're only on lap 2, so a long way to go. But excellent start in qualifying for all 3 of them. And Stewart here going for second underneath of Logan Thomas. We've got a bit of 3 wide back in here. Noah Clifton in the 25, involved in a crash at Daytona. Finished way down the order, looking to have a much better run today in that number 25 for Team Velocity. So he could be set for Noon Akbar after starting on the pole. Fell back, was involved in an accident as well, and another good start. Nice job. Gets it through the middle. Cuts down in front of Joseph Wright, who's moving his way forward. Brad Stover here in the 29 as well for Team Velocity, as you see his teammate Noah Clifton going for second underneath of John Stewart. So good start for the Velocity boys. Good start for Joseph Wright here. Almost made it 3 wide. Couldn't quite make it happen. So Eli Bright took the lead early on, was able to hold off Logan Thomas, and continues to lead here on lap 5. I think I said 67. I don't know why I said 67. I thought it was 20% for some reason, but it's actually 82. Apologies about that. It's been a long day. When isn't it? As Akbar has to slot back in line. Logan Thomas, who I thought was going to fall back a bit further than he did. He's in 4th. As speaking of falling back, Will Parrish, outside pole sitter, getting shuffled way back, 3 wide. He's got Nicholas Slaughter in the middle and Max Davis on the inside. So a couple of the 2 other Seminole Motors cars. You've got the 45 up here and so there's other 2 as well. As John Stewart trying to go for second. Clifton hangs it tough on that outside lane. I'm a bit surprised actually. That outside lane has been quite strong early on. Eli Bright was able to obviously hold the lead at the start. He's going to lead lap 6. He's led every lap so far. The outside lane doing a very nice, doing a pretty, what's the word for it? it's hanging in there. It's hanging in there. It's a good start if you're on that outside lane for the most part. You don't want to be too high up the racetrack, otherwise you're out of the groove and you're going to fall back. Logan Thomas here in the 45 is an example of that. He's falling back a bit. We saw Brad Stover burst through the middle as well. This is his teammate. Here we go. So Clifton to the inside of Bright. So we've got 3 wide in the back there, but you've got 2 Velocity cars and you've got 2 of the Collins Racing cars up in the top 4. I thought John Stewart might have thought about going for 3. Probably did think about it, but couldn't quite make the move stick. As Joseph Wright shuffled up the racetrack. Clifton takes the lead. So first lead change of the night. And Noah Clifton, who was involved in that crash and was a pretty disappointing run for him at Daytona. Right now, Noah Clifton is 39th in the points, because that's where he finished, obviously. But right now, leading the race. Of course, if you win the race, you get 84 points. It'll always be 85, actually, because you always get a bonus point for leading a lap. So that's kind of important to make note of as well, as Eli Bright here in the 12 tries to get back at the 25. A lot of points for winning. As you see, Carl McLeese up into 3rd place. Owen Miles trying to move his way back up into the top 5. Kelly Lee in the 26. You've got Jared Oren here making the 3 wide move. Will Parrish trying to move his way back up in the 0-2. Might make it 4 wide. Oh, and they are going to go 4 wide. Off into turns 1 and 2. This could be nasty. They're bouncing off each other. Thomas and Oren. And they keep it together. So nicely done. But that could have been nasty. That could have been very nasty. Eli Bright takes the lead away from Noah Clifton once again. So the pole sitter back out to the front of the field. Owen Miles on the move here with Kelly Lee right behind. So the 2 and the 26. 26 moved her way up from the start. Same for Jared Oren as well in the 72. Got some guys coming, trying to get back up through the field as well. Clifton here on the inside for the lead. So sometimes you can see the inside lane, you just had to just get out of it just for a moment, just a little checkup. Opens the door here for John Stewart, 3 wide on the inside. Now 3 wide more often than not works. In fact, I'd be willing to say 99% of the time it works. But sometimes, the very rare occurrence that it doesn't. No, it is very rare, so I don't know if we'll see it in this one, but it can happen. There's Owen Miles here in the 2. Good push from Kelly Lee, got to the inside, made it 3 wide, and took the lead away. And a very bright Buck Racing BMW. And Lee's moved her way up through the order. She's done very well since the start of this one, but so has Bright. In the 12, even though he's lost the lead, he's going to go for second with help from Parrish. Oh, and John Stewart had to check up just a little bit in the 22 on the outside. He's going to fall back a bit. Kelly Lee trying to maximise the speed off the turn. And burst through the middle. And now she's going for the lead underneath of the 2 of Owen Miles. But Miles gets the run on the high side. And now Lee slots back in line. And then Eli Wright tries to dive underneath. Can't quite do it. And they're jostling back here. How about Thomas Truxell's second at Daytona? Was frustrating to finish second. I mean, in the long run, it'll be good, but I obviously much prefer a win. He's up here. Nicholas Slaughter in the 20. We saw the 45. He's still up there in the middle of this pack, but you know, Slaughter's moved his way forward. He started 10th, but fell back a bit, moved his way forward. Brandon Beal's been on the move. Chase Harris flipped at Daytona, finished dead last, got no points for it. Moving his way up through the field here in the 47. So some good runs from guys starting to move their way forward. Bright's in second. Parrish underneath the Kelly Lee. And Slaughter in here as well in the 20. Trying to get underneath and get past this 26. Have to slot back into the line. Lee doing a nice job in the Amara Studio Honda. Another Honda here in Jared Oren for Danger Zone Autosport. Beals on moving his way up here. You've got 3 Velocistar BMWs in a relatively close position to one another. You've got Stover on the outside, Truxell, and then Clifton behind Stover. And you've also got 2 of the 7-old cars. In fact, you have all 3 up here because you've got Thomas, you've got Davis, and obviously Slaughter's up in the top 5 going for the 4th position as the Collins Racing cars are battling each other here for second as Owen Miles takes command of this race. Has led quite a number of laps in a row now. And I don't know, Mitchell Collins, the team owner, I don't know if he'd be loving what he sees right here between his 2 team cars. The battling between one another. Slaughter looking to get past the 12 here and maybe try and challenge the 02 and then the 2. He might make a 3 wide. He thought about it. Still thinking about it. Can't get underneath of the 02. Parrish shuts the door. But Miles leads the way. Then Will Parrish. Here comes the 20 now. Slaughter. 3 wide. No. Parrish again shuts the door. Lee on the outside. Oren. Brandon Beals moved his way up into this lead group as well. The 37. He's having a good run so far tonight. Oren now on the inside here for 4th. Of course, Jared Oren had a good run at Daytona as well. Qualified high up the... Well, good in the size. Decent. And a good qualifying run. But having a good run here tonight. Forgot what the points were for a moment. Eli Wright on the inside here of Owen Miles here trying to take the lead. He's got some help from his teammate in Will Parrish. And there you go. So Eli Bright, just like that, takes the lead away from Owen Miles. As Slaughter maybe gets down to the bottom. He does. I thought he might have been shuffled to the middle. I thought Oren might have had a chance there, but he did not. But Slaughter now on the inside here of Owen Miles here for 3rd. Might go for 2nd. Not close enough. Collins Racing, so the front row of the grid. Once again, 1 and 2 here. It's been a really good start for them. Slaughter in the 20. 2 of Miles. Kelly Lee's still up here. Clifton's starting to come back. He fell back just a little bit. He's moving his way back forward as well, so been an interesting race. Clean so far, at least from what I'm aware of. Oh, and we have 4 cars who I think have lost. Well, they lost pace with the lead. Yeah, they're off. So over a second a bit off. So they've lost it. So that's Braden Perez, Zachary Fitzwater, Jake Rogers, and Alejandro Cruz. And Rogers and Perez were pretty quick last week. Well, were up there at the end, so that's a bad blow for them. Fitzwater and Alejandro Cruz were both taken out at Daytona, so not an ideal position for any of those four cars to be in right now, as Parrish. And once again, Mitchell Collins, I don't know if he'd be loving what he sees, but in the sense that they're battling each other and maybe giving up more positions, because here comes Jared Owen 3 wide on that inside lane. That's going to shuffle Bright way up, just slightly out of the, well, a bit out of the groove really. Schlaughter through the middle of 20 might be the biggest beneficiary, although Oren able to hang on that inside lane. It got some nice help behind from Noah Clifton in the 25. He's moved his way back up through the field. Will Parrish leads the way. Oren looking to clear the 12. He's got a good run through the turn. Someone hit the wall? I might be tripping. I thought someone hit the wall. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, Jared Oren. Jared Oren taking the lead here, or at least trying to underneath of Will Parrish. Won't be able to lead that lap, I don't think. And on the inside, the Collins racing cars are going to help each other out. We saw the O2 had to check up just a little bit there. We haven't seen that too much from the outside lane, but happened there. He loses the position. Bright's going to shuffle him to the very top because Kelly Lee's on the inside of Bright. Bright goes through to the middle. Oren takes the lead, but maybe not for long, because here comes Clifton in the 25. You got the 26 of Kelly Lee in here as well. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead off into turn 1. And of course, thankfully, we haven't seen any, well, we've seen the one case of 4 wide, and Jared Oren was in the middle of that, but of course, everyone got away with it. Professional driving, to say the least. We saw a lot of that at Daytona as well. Well, not a lot, but we saw a couple of cases where they did actually survive 4 wide. Of course, they weren't immune, they weren't immortal. They did crash, but eventually. Eli Bright trying to get underneath of Kelly Lee, who took the lead. They're going to be side by side down the back. Oh, and that, yeah, I was just about to say, I thought I saw some smoke. And Kyle McLeese with the GP2 engine. So McLeese, who started 6th, was running, where was McLeese? McLeese was running 16th. Well, it probably wasn't 16th, but was running up around in the top 20 and is out of the race with the engine. So GP2 engine strikes again. That's not the first time we saw Paul Antoine Sierre here in the 69 actually had an engine failure in qualifying at Daytona. Didn't put in a lap time. So it's not the first engine failure we've seen this year from a Honda. Although, to be fair, we also saw Ricardo Garcia have an engine failure right after he did his qualifying lap in that race. So, well, qualifying in that session rather, not the race, of course. No one had an engine failure in the race. That was pretty cool at Daytona. But we do have one here, and tough break for Kyle McLeese and Monkey Racing. They're not going to score any points as a result of that. Eli Bright's taken the lead while all that was going on. Kelly Lee is second, so they have a bit of a gap. But that's not likely to hold for too long. Brad Stover here has moved his way up to 3rd as they're getting a little antsy back in there. As Beal and Clifton got a little too close for my liking anyway. Here comes Miles 3 wide, trying to get to the inside. Oren trying to clear Brad Stover. He does. And he's going to hold on to 3rd. So nicely done from the 72. Got Troxel here in the 27. He's had a very good start to the year. After finishing 2nd at Daytona. Right now running in the top 5. Schlaughter way up on the high side. Again, not exactly the ideal place, but here comes his teammate. The 45 of Logan Thomas. Who saw earlier in this race. He fell back a little bit. Moving his way back forward. Oren under attack here from Owen Miles. Kelly Lee all over the back of Eli Bright. Unable to make a move in turns 1 or 2. And a good run for Bright. Able to hold the lead down the back. 34 of 82. So pit stops are going to come in later in the race. In the back half of the race. So keep that in mind. That's going to probably, well, It might determine who ends up winning this race. Here comes Kelly Lee on the inside here in the 26. Lee has been very fast in this race. She started, I think she started 20th. Moved her way forward. And here she is now going for the lead again. Bright's obviously been very, very quick. He's led the most laps so far in this race, but Kelly Lee's car is pretty quick. Miles has been up here. I think Trucks has got a good race car. So a bunch of guys that are really going to contend here for the win, you would think. Lee was able to hang on that inside lane as Bright didn't get the best of run through turns 1 and 2. Into turn 3, Bright had to check up. Of course, the tyre wear is starting to come into effect. More so than it did obviously at the start of the race, but it's probably why we saw that. As Lee took the lead, Owen Miles up into seconds, got another BMW right behind him in Thomas Truxell. As Miles now trying to get to the inside of Lee, can't quite do it. Lee chopped across the nose of the two. That's a risky move. You don't want to be spinning yourself out, particularly if you're on the lead of the race. But Lee has it in the 26. Truxell on the inside for second underneath of Owen Miles. We're seeing a lot of passing throughout this race. As you see Eli Bright bursting through the middle. Once again, that car is very fast. Burst through the middle there. The 71 of Henry Guar and the 72 of Gerard Oren. Who are very fast car. And how much Garrett Lamar here in the 31, who finished in the top 5 at Daytona, running in the top 5 at the moment, trying to go for third underneath of Owen Miles. But Eli Bright has other ideas, so does Owen Miles. Henry Guar in here as well, 71. Thinking about making it 3 wide, but he won't. As Truxell now goes for the lead here in the 27. Can't quite do it. Lee with the run on the high side, and Miles wanted to cut down and get underneath the Truxell. Unfortunately for him, Garrett Lamar was already on the inside, and they're 3 wide. Oren inside of Guar and Bright, but unable to hang on that inside lane. Lamar with a good run. He's going for second now underneath the Truxell. Side by side, off the turn, down the front, 3 wide, or I thought there was 3 wide. There might be 3 wide. Eli Bright thought about it, but couldn't. Just ran out of space to make it happen. Lamar couldn't hold on that inside lane. Truxell with a very nice run off the turn, but gets blocked hard by Kelly Lee, who leading this race and has done a pretty good job of it. And that opens the door for Lamar again. So, Miles might make it 3 wide. Is he going to make it 3 wide and shuffle Truxell back? He is to the inside of the 27. That's going to shuffle him way up the racetrack. Garrett Lamar says thank you very much. And here comes Henry Guar up into third as well. Miles gets back to the inside. How about Logan Thomas moving? He's just quietly got his way back up into the top 5 now. And Parrish back in here. Paul Antoine Sierra as well has moved his way forward. Guar going for second underneath of Lamar. Wasn't a great race at Daytona for Henry Guar. Was caught up in the crash, the big one, and way down in the order as a result. He comes into this race 34th in the standings. Right now, a nice bounce back. He's going for second, and it looks like he'll get it, and he might even go for the lead here. Underneath of Kelly Lee with a bit of help from Owen Miles in the number 2. Side by side off into turn 1. Lee trying to fight it back on that outside lane, but I think the advantage here will go to Guar, and he clears for the race lead. Miles here, still underneath of Lamar. Couldn't hang on the inside of Lee. They're 3 wide as Will Parrish drives it in very hard. Don't want to drive it in too hard, otherwise you get the wall. But not going to do you any favours, obviously. But, the 0-2 got more 3 wide. Bright trying to claw his way back up to the front. Unable to do so. And I've just seen Jerry Chen in the 36. He's quietly moved up here as well. So, you know, we talk about Gifford Technologies Incorporated leading the race. Jerry Chen started on the back row of the grid, and right now He's just running outside the top 10, running in 12th at the moment. So good run for him. And obviously got Davis behind him. In the 6th, Joseph Wright's back in here. Sebastian Palmer in the 15, single car operation. Had a decent run at Daytona. And having a decent run again tonight. John Stewart's still up here. Jared Oren. And then there's James Stack in the 23. That is the Daytona winner. Right now in that kind of second group, there's a bit of a gap between the 72 and the 23. Owen Miles is up into second place. That car is very, very quick. Right now it is Henry Gore leading the race. Lap 47, so pit stops will be coming relatively soon. I'd say about lap 60. Here comes Miles. I think he had to check up for a moment, and now he goes to the inside of Gore for the race lead. He has to check up into the turn. Gore gets the advantage on the high side. Was able to keep it on the gas just for a little bit longer. Clifton's moved his way back up here in the 25 for Velocista, trying to get to the inside. He got 3 wide. Chen is on the move, trying to get up there with his teammate. Troxel here on the inside. Will Parrish. Nicholas Slaughter is on the outside. Now John Stewart in the middle, right on the inside. There's a lot going on, and you see Stack in the 23. Samuel Francis, his teammate, moving their way into the front pack. Travis Crampton in the 41 as well. More 3 wide. Eli Bright clawing his way back to the front of the field, the pole sitter. Lamar had to check up. He gets out of the middle lane and loses some ground as a result. Bright back up to 4th as Lee now going for 2nd underneath of Owen Miles. Clean and green so far. We're about to complete the 49th lap. We haven't had a caution yet. So, of course, it took us about 25 laps. It took us about half the race to get to Daytona. Get the first crash at Daytona. So, these guys have done a pretty good job of keeping it clean for the most part. In the series so far, there's a lot of movement back here. Lamar wanted to get to the inside, or at the very minimum, block Logan Thomas, but Thomas was already on the inside by the time the 31 tried to make the move. But Chen up here as well, having a good run. Troxel, Parrish. Right now, that's your top 10, and Pauline's once again just outside at the moment. They're 3 wide back in there. Travis Crampton, Brad Stover, and Nicholas Slaughter in that group. Top 3 have kind of broken away. Kelly Lee all over the back of Henry Gore here. He's got a decent run. There's Alejandro Cruz in the 46. By all accounts, he is up to minimum speed, so but he has fallen off. Even these guys, he's fallen off, and then these guys, of course, lost the main draft. Everyone else, I think, is a part of it. So, tough break for these 3, and then, of course, Alejandro Cruz. It's not been a good start to the year for him. Or, to be honest, for Monkey Racing at all. Obviously, the 56 out of the race, and they're 3 wide. Here comes Bright. To the inside. A good run through the turns. The 12 is very fast. To be honest with you, he could probably just got shuffled back on that outside lane. But that car's fast. You got Lamar up here as well. Clifton. A bunch of guys that have been up here for quite a while. And Henry Gore is doing a really good job at the front of the field. It might not last as they're 3 wide again. This time for the 3rd position. As Clifton tries to make it happen on the inside lane. Kelly Lee going to get shuffled back. May not last because here comes the 12. And of course, I was about to say Eli Bright. Oh, here we go. Diving a very low, and here we go. So, pit stops. Alejandro Cruz in his pit stall first, and that's not great. That's not exactly ideal. I think he's glitching out. But Bright, the first car to pit. Will Parrish, Nicholas Slaughter. Well, they're not the first car to pit because Alejandro Cruz, but Jake Rogers also on pit road. Here comes Gore. He's going to pit now. Looks like Lamar and Owen Miles are going to follow suit. Same with Jared Oren. But a lot of the field's still staying out. Now, if you're on the pit road here right now, particularly if you're Brian, if you're Will Parrish, Slaughter, you do not want a caution because it ruins pretty much the entire race. That's the one thing they do not want. Bunch of guys on pit road. XTaKeRuX there. Noah Clifton led at the line last time. Logan Thomas is going to stay out. Same with Jerry Chen. Cruz is glitching because he's coming back down the pit road again, so that's fun. Clifton pits. A lot of cars pit. I think 9 cars stayed out, including James Stack here in the 23. Logan Thomas, Jerry Chen, they're well gone. Oh, the rest of these guys, they're going to pit as well. Or at least most of them are, if not all. Let's see where the bright car comes out in relation to everyone else. I think Gore's going to win the race off pit road out of that second crew to pit. With Lamar second, there's Jared Oren with a good pit stop. So coming down a lap earlier didn't really help the 12 or the 02. Well, may have helped the 02, but certainly didn't help the 12 because he was right up there with the 71. Here comes the next crew. So Clifton here. I think Clifton's going to get out ahead here off the 71. Oh, it's on here. Kelly Lee. He's getting the tyres up to temperature and Gore on that outside. Lamar's going to go to the bottom. He's going to leave him alone. Clifton has the lead of the race at the moment. Jerry Chen beat Logan Thomas off the pit road. It's a good stop for the 36. Ethan Lewis, I think in the 00. I think I don't think he. I don't know. He might be up there. I don't think he is though. So, but I think Noah Clifton's going to be the leader after all this. So we're going to find out, I reckon, right now. Yes, he is. So Noah Clifton takes the lead on that round of pit stops. Those will be the only pit stops of the night. I'm almost certain of that. Oh dear! Now, XTaKeRuX, I told you he glitched. He's been glitching a little bit. That happens every so often. Just in general, where for some reason it's just not working out on pit road. Now, if he stops on the track, this will be a caution. But I don't think that's going to happen. It might. But I don't think it will. I think he'll make it back to pit road here. I tell you what, a bad night has just gone worse for Monkey Racing because obviously McLeese out of it. XTaKeRuX really struggling as well. So it's been a terrible night for them. And so he made it back to pit road, so no caution. Lamar, well, of course, he led a lot of laps. He led 14 laps at Daytona, which was the second most, only behind Echo Evans Ross. And right now running in the top 5 again. It's a really good start to the year for the 31. A really good sign, potentially, of things to come for him. He's on the inside of Henry Gore. Could not get it past the 25 of Clifton, who still leads the way. Gore on the outside. Still got a long way to go. Still have over 20 laps to go. Got Lee in here as well. You got Bright, who's been up here pretty much all night. Jared Oren. The 00, I think, is a lap down. Yes, he is. So Ethan Lewis must have had a slow pit stop because he's down in 40th and a lap down. So must have had a slow pit stop. But Jerry Chen moved his way up here. You got the 02, Will Parrish, Owen Miles, Joseph Wright, and obviously Truxell just outside the top 10 at the moment. And they're going 3 wide. Off into turn 1. Kelly Lee on the march in the 26 up to second. Eli Bright in the 12 trying to get to third. Jared Oren in the 72 as well up here on that inside lane. And I think this 36 might have something here because he's really caught up. And of course, he came down later than a lot of others. Now, it may not have a massive impact because it's only going to be a couple laps difference, but that could still come into effect. Could be a massive advantage there for Jerry Chen. And keep that one in the back of your mind. Kelly Lee is taking the lead here in the 26. She gets around Noah Clifton. This might be the favourite right here. The 26 has been extremely fast all night long. Here comes the 12 of Bright to the inside of Lamar, who just got to second and is immediately going to... Well, it looks like he'll lose it because Bright with a very good run. Down the back straight away through turns 2 and then off into 3 and 4. Looks like Eli Bright will get second. He does. Jared Oren. Gore behind him. Owen Miles getting into the picture here a little bit as well. So Oren on the move. 3 wide behind him. As Clifton shuffled to the middle and Lamar on the outside. Oren unable to hang on that inside lane, and there goes the 12 of Bright. I tell you, man. 26, the 12, I mean, they have just been excellent all night long. They're going to go 3 wide again. Oren on the outside, Miles in the middle, Noah Clifton on the inside, and this 99 of Joseph Wright, who kind of disappeared for a while. He had a good starting spot. We haven't seen a lot of him tonight. He finished 3rd at Daytona, and here he is once again up here competing for the win. He might be a good shout as well. So keep an eye on the 99. But Kelly Lee right now, 15 laps to go. Looking pretty good right now. Bryant, Miles, Clifton. Wright is now into the top 5, and keep an eye on Jerry Chen in the 36. Here comes Miles in the 2, trying to get to the inside. Bright blocks pretty hard. A couple of very brightly coloured cars, 12 and 2. Here we go, they might go 3 wide for the lead. Yes, they are. Here comes the 2 of Miles on the inside of Bryant and Lee, 3 wide for the lead. Lee's not in the ideal spot, way up top. Bright in the middle. We're seeing the middle lane has worked sometimes. We're seeing the inside lane work sometimes. Oh, Kelly Lee's going to get shuffled back, and Owen Miles here is going to take the lead of the race. In the number 2, look out, because here comes Clifton, here comes Wright, here the 99, here comes the 45 of Logan Thomas. Now Thomas, of course, just like Jerry Chen, they both came down the same lap, so keep that in mind. With the fresher tyres of the front crew. Clifton looking to the inside of the 2. Couldn't quite make it happen, but he's up into 2nd. Bright looks like he's going to hang on to 3rd, at least for the time being, because Kelly Lee's got a good run, and there she goes to the inside of the 12. Battles on for 3rd. It's a couple of BMWs at the front. The 26 of Lee. The 12 of Bright on that outside. Joseph Wright might think about making a move. There he goes to the inside of the 12. We got Thomas back here. Troxel in the 27. I mean, this is a great run. I mean, a bunch of these guys. Obviously, the 99 was up there at Daytona. He finished 3rd. Troxel was 2nd. And right now, these guys competing for the win as they're 3 wide. Logan Thomas on the inside here of Wright and the inside of Bright, who's going to fall back. Wright and Bright. I've just realised. Jerry Chen as well up here. Ken out the 31 as well. He's been fast. How about Sabet Oskin, who finished had a very good run at Daytona, finished 6th, and once again up here in position. As Lee now to the inside here for the race lead. So the 26, who's probably been the overall fastest car of the race, trying to get the lead back off Owen Miles. There's under 10 laps to go as well. That's what I've just realised. Look at the run that Miles got on that high lane. Lee just could not get it working on the bottom. And that's a strong showing there from Owen Miles. In turns 3 and 4, they're going to go 3 wide again. Gore trying to make his way back up to the lead of the race. Of course, he was leading when the pit stops happened, so a bit of frustration for him that he was not able to hold on. How about Roberto Crown Jr.? We have not talked about him pretty much all year so far. And here he is in the 52. Right now running in the top 10. Competing for a top 5. Maybe even competing for the win. As Wright looks to the inside of Kelly Lee. Lee blocks hard. And Thomas here as well, the 45. Looking to get to the inside of Wright. Unable to do so. Gore gets shuffled high as a result. And here comes Crown Jr. They're having a very good race in that 52. Started a long way back as well. As Miles looking for Buck Racing's first win of the year and his first win of the year, of course. And Miles didn't have a great run at Daytona. He finished mid-pack. Got involved in one of the crashes. Involved in the big one, of course. Thomas trying to get to the inside of Kelly Lee. I think if anyone's going to get to the 2, and that's a massive run for Kelly Lee. Here she goes to the inside with a big push from Logan Thomas with 6 laps to go as they're going crazy back there, back in the pack. 3 wide. Further down the order, Lee just could not stick to the bottom there. Could not stick to the bottom. Owen Miles was able to get that car to just run the top beautifully. But now here comes Lee. And 26, looking again to the inside. And Owen Miles' car, to be honest, it looks very strong on the high lanes. Blocks the 26. Just completely covered into turns 1 and 2. Thomas, Berto Crown Jr. in the battle for 5th. Gore having a good run. Joseph Wright, another Advanced Auto Parts car in Lamar. They're going to go 3 wide with it's an Advanced Auto Parts sandwich with Gore in the middle with 4 to go. That is for 5th position as Crown looks to the inside of Thomas. Still looking to the inside of Logan Thomas. Couldn't do anything about it. Lee didn't have a great run. That allows Owen Miles to pull away just a little bit. Here comes the 45 to the inside. Thomas going for 2nd. Can he make this move stick? That's Stephen Colon in the 13. I don't know what happened to him. I think he had a terrible pit stop because he just dropped down the order. Thomas is up into 2nd place. We have under 3 laps to go. And Thomas and Owen Miles here. 1 and 2. Kelly Lee is 3rd. Roberto Crown Jr. trying to hold on to 4th. As he got the 71 of Gore on the outside in 5th. 2 laps to go. Does Logan Thomas have anything for Owen Miles? I don't think any of these guys, Roberto Crown Jr. with a heck of a run, up in the 3rd place. Having a very good night. Didn't see a lot of him throughout the race, so he's up into 3rd. But I think it's going to be between these 2 cars here, the 2 and the 45. A decent run there. The 45 got a better run through the turns. Here we go. Coming to the white flag. Here comes the 45 of Thomas. White flag. 1 lap to go, and Thomas is going for the lead. Oh, look at the run that Miles gets on the outside. And Roberto Crown Jr. has something to say. He's going for 2nd. Owen Miles in the number 2 for Buck Racing. Oh, here comes the 45 and Thomas. He got a heck of a run. Here he comes to the inside. Side by side. No! Owen Miles gets the job done. Holds on to win here at Atlanta. That was a very good race. Good battles galore and lots of passing, but nobody could pass Owen Miles. There were many times where drivers got to the inside, but Owen Miles on that outside just hung on, just continued to get those runs in the high lane. And the number 2 goes to victory lane for the first time this year. Buck Racing. Chase Buck, the team owner, gets to celebrate the victory tonight. And Logan Thomas finishes 2nd, so I think he was a bit disappointed by what happened at Daytona. He'll be disappointed not to win, but a very good showing regardless. Roberto Crown Jr., we didn't see him pretty much all night, and he rocketed up at the end. He finished 3rd, so well done to him. Kelly Lee finishes 4th, so she was one of the dominant cars and couldn't quite at the end, just fell to 4th. And Garrett Lamar, 2nd straight race in the top 5. Henry Gore, 6th. Joseph Wright, again, back-to-back top 10s for him, of course, as well. The 72, Jared Oren with a good run. Cement Oskin finished in the top 10 as well. So, and Thomas Troxel, 10th. So that is 4 drivers who have finished in the top 10 in both races so far. So those are going to be the guys that, right now, 2 races in rather, certainly in the best positions. Still a long way to go, of course. 18 races left. Owen Miles is going to well and truly jump up the order here because of the win tonight. And fantastic result to him. Well done to him and to Chase Buck Racing. the Ghost Lifestyle BMW goes to victory lane. Congratulations to those guys. Very, very, very good performance. Very good race car that they put out there tonight. But that'll do it for Atlanta, the second race of the year. Hope you guys enjoyed. And we will see you guys next week. We're heading to Oregon. First time we've ever been to Oregon in any series before that. So it's pretty cool. Looking forward to that one. Congratulations to Owen Miles. Here are the results. Here are the points. And we'll see you guys next time for the third race of the year. See you next week.